What's up, Melanated family? This is your boy Harrison Man bringing you a brand new episode of the Melanated Convo podcast. How's everybody doing out there? I'm happy to be here with you on this good Saturday. If this is your first time tuning into the show, like I always say, we do a few things here, right? The first thing we always do here on the show is we discuss Black businesses. The health of our community, in my opinion, is heavily weighed on how we spend our money in and outside the community. So supporting Black businesses is heavily important to me. It's something that I focus on. So we talk about Black businesses. The other thing that we do here on the Melanated Convo podcast is have interviews or in-depth conversations with people from the community, people who have extraordinary experiences and don't mind sharing that with the family. So either they can be a business owner, a dedicated father, a father going through things, a single mother who didn't been through some things. You know what I mean? We just get people on the show who can articulate their experiences so we can help the family. So I got my brother Ricco Spears in here today.
Hey, how you guys doing?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We're going to talk to Ricco. We're going to talk a little bit about his journey and discuss a lot of the things that he has coming up as well, right? So let's get everything started, family. I'm excited. Well, actually, also, if you're watching this on YouTube, Facebook, any of the other live video platforms, please like the video, share the video, subscribe to the Melanated Fathers TV YouTube channel if you are watching it on YouTube. If you're listening to it on one of the digital platforms, please leave a review. Any review you leave on Apple Podcasts, Overcast, Spotify, Google Podcasts, all of these different things. Any review that you leave affects the algorithm in a positive manner. So more people end up seeing the show, right? So if you're listening to it on one of the digital platforms, I'm happy to have you guys with us as well. And please, like I said, leave a review, like it, share, talk about it with your friends. Let's get this thing popping. So first Black business. Let me share my screen real quick.
Okay.
So everybody can see who I'm talking about. The first Black business is a homeboy of mine's who, when I first started my platform, I interviewed this brother because he started a clothing store here in the Sacramento area where I'm at. And it was just a dope idea. The clothing store that I'm talking about is Tree Boy Clothing, Tree Boy Clothing brand. Now I'm going to show you the website. Then I'm going to show you the store, the actual storefront that he has as well. But this is his website. This is his clothing. Now, Tree Boy Clothing, of course, you see the marijuana influence, but it also is referencing the fact that Sacramento is the city of trees. So it's like a double entendre as far as the meaning is concerned. Really dope clothing line, one of the only urban clothing stores that I know of in Sacramento owned by a brother. There may be more, but I'm not aware of them. So I really support this brother. Like I said, I interviewed him and I've just watched his growth over the past 3 or 4 years, and it's been amazing. It just shows what can happen if you stick to something and remain passionate about whatever it is that you're doing. You can turn your life around and go from being maybe a street dude or being a dude that didn't know exactly what you wanted to do to somebody that can create like $1 million business. Because at this point, he is not only supplying Sacramento, but he has his clothes in different stores throughout the country, which, you know, just watching his growth has been amazing. So you can get t-shirts, you can get sweaters, you can get hoodies, sweatsuits. Let me see here, different headwear. He has a couple hats on here as well. So this is my brother Kev with Tree Boy Clothing brand. I want to show y'all the storefront real quick. Now, of course, the store, to all my family in different cities and states, the store is here in Sacramento, California, where I'm from. You know what I mean? So it's in the let me see here. What's the actual address? It's Franklin Boulevard. Yeah, so it's 6512 Franklin Boulevard. If you're in Sacramento, the address to the store is 6512 Franklin Boulevard, Sacramento, California, 95823. The store is dope. He's even made, since he first opened the store, I'm thinking it was 3-4 years ago, he's made several improvements inside of the store. It's just been a blessing to watch this brother grind, and he gonna keep going further. He may end up having multiple stores in the Sacramento area. The name of the store is the Stylish Stoner Boutique. The Stylish Stoner Boutique is the name of the store. It's right here in the Sacramento area. If you're not in the Sacramento area, go to treeboyclothingbrand.com. That's treeboyclothingbrand.com. Go there today. Get yourself some gear. Like I said, some of it is marijuana inspired. So if you're not into that, that's cool. Some of the designs don't have anything to do with that. You know what I mean? And he designs most of these shirts himself. So everybody do me a favor and go to treeboyclothingbrand.com. If you put yourself on the email list, then you can get different promotions and discounts and different things like that as well. Now, the other business is my actual business. My actual business, Antelope Mobile Notary. Antelope Mobile Notary, which is my notary company here in the Sacramento area. This is actually a local business as well. So if you are someone who needs like a power of attorney notarized, if you need some type of consent form notarized, if you're refinancing your house, if you're getting a loan out, like all of these type of things, require a notary. So I have some of the cheapest prices in town. You can give me a call at 916-545-0950. That's 916-545-0950. I cover the entire Sacramento area. So I would come wherever you are. It's really based on the convenience, family. And like I said, my prices are some of the cheapest in the Sacramento area. So if you're in need of a notary, if you need any important documents notarized, I got y'all. Give me a call at 916-545-0950. I have like a 15% promotion going on right now for the summer because of how hot it is. So hit your boy up, man. We can discuss business and I can come help you out. I can come to your office, come to your home, meet you at Starbucks, whatever you're more comfortable with, right? So let's get everything going. So on the show, like I said, there's a brother that I actually went to school with, and we reconnected recently. And one thing led to another. He has a very interesting story. He has a lot of things that he wants to do. You know what I mean? So I thought no better platform to actually talk to the brother than be on my actual show. And like I said, we went to school together, and it's just great to know people that you knew at 16, 17, 18, and just see the trajectory of people's lives and how people are conducting themselves as adults. It's pretty much amazing. It pretty much, got you thinking about your childhood, like, how silly and stupid your goddamn childhood was compared to real life and how things are in life. So he's a father, he's a business owner, a lot of stuff going on. So we're going to talk to my brother, Ricco Spears, today. How you doing, Ricco?
Hey, I'm good. And first and foremost, I want to give you a shout out for the things that you're doing, though. Like to be a Black father, I love your business, you know what I mean? And I love this platform for you to be able to like just go out and explain to people that, you don't have to settle. You know what I mean? Like if you have an idea, which everything starts from, then you could do something positive and actually give back so that you're giving other people platforms to be able to use their ideas and to be able to progress, in this world. Because to me, as African Americans, that's what we kind of need to do. We need to learn how to be able to own our own businesses so we don't have to work for people, and be able to use that as a platform to help other people out and spread it so people understand like we're not lazy. We love each other and we're very business oriented people, and we want to get out there and we want to be able to have a platform to be able to help people out. So shout out to your business. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Melanated Fathers. Shout out to your boy that's doing his clothing line right there, man. I'm really impressed with that shit right there. And I pray that nothing but the best for him and that he just continues to flourish in this business, because that's what it's about, being a Black owned business. Own your own business if you can.
Yep, there we go. That's definitely the way to go. And I tell people all the time, Rico, sometimes it's not even about the money. I just know people who have worked their whole life and they're not necessarily happy with the job. Like they're not happy inside. So I'm like, everybody needs something for themselves. Whether you make money off of it, whether you just helping people, whatever it may be, but you need something that you can call your own. I think that's what feeds your spirit. Some people are lucky enough to have a profession that they actually love to do and can't stop thinking about. That's beautiful. That does happen to some of us, but a lot of us are working where we need to work to get money. That part is cool, but like I always say, do something for yourself. You know what I mean? Do something that can like fulfill your soul. So got my boy Ricco on the line here with us today. Ricco, first thing I want to start with, bro, for everybody out there, because we are from Sacramento, California. Tell everybody originally where you from and a little bit about yourself.
Okay, well, I'm originally from Bloomington, Illinois. I moved to Chicago at a very young age, and because of the way that my family migrated, they decided to move to Sacramento, California, and I've kind of been here for a little bit over half my life. I graduated from Burbank with, well, maybe Harrison, you were like 1 year over me, so I believe you graduated in '98 and I graduated in '99.
Yep.
And I have a crazy story. I started out in the music business. I'm a singer. songwriter. I play instruments, and like I really kind of flourished with that a little bit after high school. But there was a lot of bumps in the road. I got into a little bit of trouble,
Mm-hmm.
became incarcerated for a minute,
Mm-hmm.
and really had to get my life together to understand that sometimes life isn't always about what it is that you want to do. Sometimes you have to learn to do the things that you don't want to do in order to get to the next part in your life. And basically where I'm at right now is through being incarcerated, through having a solid foundation. I use that as a tool to be able to try to be a better person. And right now basically what I'm doing is I'm training people. I'm a fitness trainer. I
Mm-hmm.
have a full 9 to 5 job. And I'm kind of with you, man. I want to just see people flourish. And definitely out of all people, our people. That
Got
doesn't mean anything about me being prejudiced or anything, because I like to see all people make it. But I know that we need a platform for ourselves as well. You know what I mean? So people can understand that let's kill this violence, let's kill all the BS, and let's do things that's going to be able to help us and help the community so people can look at us as professionals,
Mm-hmm.
you
Definitely.
know, and
So
flourish.
So something I want to touch on real quick, because you mentioned briefly that you were incarcerated. Something that I
Yes.
wanted you to touch on and talk about is, for you, how has that transition been? Just as far as family is concerned, as far as your child is concerned, like what are some of the things you've had to adjust, even mentally? Because you seem like mentally you pretty much got a lot of things figured out, or in that direction at least. So how has that transition been for you?
Well, it's been kind of hard because I mean, obviously, you're already looked at as if you're a person that couldn't fit into society, and it doesn't matter what you became incarcerated for. Like people look at you like maybe like you're not that smart, like you couldn't cut it to be able to be a regular civilian. But with me, and the foundation that I had, and the tools that I was able to learn, I go against the grain. You know what I mean? Like I don't believe in propaganda. I believe in like you pretty much push everything that you want to do the way you want to do it. So my
Hmm.
thing is if I wanted to be in there and I wanted to just mess up my life and continue to make this a revolving door, then I could do that. But I chose a different path. I chose to be able to use this as a tool to be able to better myself and then segue into something that was going to make me, you know, um, stand outside of the masses and not be a part of the recidivism rate, which I believe in California is like in like maybe the 88th percentile of people that go back to their prison ways. I've been
Yeah,
out for maybe like a year now. And I mean, like I said, I'm working a full-time job and I'm pushing this fitness stuff as much as I can right now. And I'm gonna let you guys know it's not easy. Definitely if you get caught in the system because you have so many things counting against you. But it's mind over matter. If you don't mind, it doesn't matter. And basically, you can just use this as a tool, you know what I'm saying, to put everything behind you and then move forward and you can be successful.
definitely. Now, something else I want to touch on with you really quick. Um, so when looking at our black men, right, and our young black men, because we went to a high school in an urban community where there was a lot of different stuff going on, a lot of different negative influence, if you allow that to happen. But what do you think happens to our young men? Like from your perspective, why do you think so many of of our young men choose the street life or choose to do things on the other side of the law? What do you think are some of the factors that make them go in that direction?
Because they don't know better. You have a lot of kids raising kids.
Mm,
Just think about this. Like if, okay, just say that you have a kid at 18 years old, and then you're only maybe 9 to 10 years older than your kid. You're still trying to figure out what's going on in this game. You know what I mean? So you still have many lessons and bumps in the road that you have to get over in order to be able to be mature enough to understand your situation. So that's
mhm.
what I think happens. Is just kids raising kids and not understanding that in life is serious. And then how you mold somebody from a small age to moving into that adolescence and to becoming a young adult, like it's hard for you to teach them lessons if they haven't grown up either. And that's
Mm,
what I think our community falls to, is the fact that people don't understand how to raise a kid when they're still a kid trying to figure it out.
definitely. Now, I want to just touch on real quick. You said you a father. Last time we talked, you said you had a 19-year-old, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now talk to me a little bit about um just some of the trials and tribulations you've had to go through, just figuring it, because we don't have a handbook when it comes to raising these kids. And just like you were saying, some of us, like myself, was real young. We don't have a handbook on what to do and how to mold them. We're kind of learning on the job. So what are some of the like trials and tribulations and learning tools you had to teach yourself along the way of raising your 19-year-old?
Well, it all started basically for me with my grandparents instilling to me togetherness, right? And I understand that, once I decided to make that decision to put myself in a position to have a kid, it was my responsibility, being incarcerated or not, to let her know that I'm in her life. You know what I'm saying? That she's important to me, that I love her, and that no matter what, I won't allow anything to come between us. I'm going to be here for everything that I can be here for. And me and her have a beautiful relationship. We talk every day. She's into the fitness business as much as I am. And then she's also on her third year in the Army, because of the fact that when I was incarcerated, I didn't like disappear on her. I did everything in my power to make sure that she understood I'm a part of her life and I love her no matter the roadblocks that we had in our life.
Mm. Now, okay, so that's beautiful right there, because I think sometimes, because I'm gonna talk to you about fatherhood real quick, but I think sometimes our Black men need to realize when you have negative things going on in your life, you can't check out as a father. Like, regardless of whatever problems you have, sometimes if you're in an environment that's dangerous, okay, maybe you shouldn't have your kid around there. But in general, I think sometimes we give up as men. Like, we put whatever obstacle we have in that we're going through, we put that in front of actually the parent aspect. But like you said, all you need to do is pay attention to what's going on and call and talk to them and be a part of their life by understanding who they are as a person. Like, all of these things is a process. I think sometimes we check out as fathers. Now, how do you view Black fatherhood in America? Because we come from an environment, like I said, where a lot of us didn't have dads. Like, do you think, how big of an impact do you think that had on that had on us? Some of us who had kids early, some of us who joined gangs and did all kind of shit. Like, how do you think the non-father aspect is affecting that?
Well, I mean, it makes you feel like you're secluded from the people that when you're like at school, and you see people you're interacting with their parents and them giving them hugs and giving them encouragement and things like that. It makes you feel like you're like indifferent, like you're not someone that matters because of the fact that you're watching this next person getting that love. You like, where's my love at?
Hmm.
How am I important to this, this society to where I can make a difference? And it kind of puts a target on your back. You know what I mean? Because of the other people that's the exact same way. It's like when you put them all in one bunch, you know what I'm saying?
Mm.
It's like the blind leading the blind. So therefore, anything goes, man. Anything goes. And because of you have no direction. And when they use the expression anything goes, that's what is the key is, because you have no direction. You don't know which way to go, because you feel like you don't have anybody that's being able to care enough about you to lead you, on a straight and arrow, so that you know that you can be something, that you can do something.
Now, good. That's a great point. And it's so funny you say it that way, because that's really what happens. You have 12 friends, and maybe one of them got a father. So you
Right.
got 12 dudes that don't know how to lead. They becoming men, but none of them has been led by a man before. So, like you said, it's literally the blind leading the blind. So
Right.
something else I want to ask you about fatherhood. Like, what are some of the tools you think a young man needs to manage the whole quote unquote baby mama situation? Because a lot of us are in situations where we're not married or we're not in the home with the kid. So whenever you're not in the home with the kid, in my opinion, there's like a different level of communication that needs to take place. There's a different level of understanding that needs to take place. You got to be on the same, all these things have to happen. So in your opinion, like, how does a young person, now that we're older and our kids are older, how does a young person navigate that when you're not in a relationship with the kid mom and y'all may not be getting along?
Okay, it's simple. You don't make it about the relationship. You make everything about the kid.
Hmm.
You know, if things aren't working out, just like in my relationship, things didn't work out. My baby's mom had different agendas, and she decided that she wanted a whole nother aspect of life, which for me, it's not my problem because now that I was man enough to be able to make a baby, I need to be man enough to not worry about her and put all my attention into my kids so that she can understand that maybe if the parent isn't moving in this direction, she got love from me. So she can understand and so she can have an outlet to know that she's wanted and that she's loved. And for me, what that's helped is, you know, my daughter wanted to she's in the army and she kind of wanted to give up. And it's crazy because just a little bit of encouragement that I gave her. I told her, I said, look, I know you want to give up. I know that this isn't something for you because it's always easier to quit something. But
Mm-hmm.
what I told her is I was like, look, you need to stick to one thing and see it through. You know what I'm saying? And that's very important to me. And when I gave her that pep talk, now she's 3 years in. And I'm not sure that she's gonna make a career of this, but she's gonna use this as an outlet to be able to propel her into the next, what I'm saying, part of her life. And I'm very proud of her. You know what I
Mm.
mean? I'm very proud of her. And all it took was just a little bit of encouragement, a little bit of understanding that even though I'm not here for you right now, I love you. You know what I'm saying? And a little bit of encouragement. And that's all she needed. And now, like I said, like we laugh at this stuff now because she
It's
knows, what's up.
it's so funny you say that because sometimes as fathers, the idea of finances gets aggrandized. Now, money is definitely important in any human's life. Now, we completely
Right.
understand that, but you said something important that what you did that kind of helped change your daughter's trajectory was just being in tune with what was going on and
Right.
offering encouragement. And think about when we was young and a lot of the situations we found ourselves in, how many times we could have used that father not to give us money to help us out, but
Right.
you say, you got this. Come on now. We
Yeah,
gonna do this. You see what
just
I'm
a
saying?
little encouragement, just a little encouragement. Sometimes that's all it takes is a little bit of encouragement and someone acting like they actually give a damn. That's it.
Hmm. Hmm. Now, you mentioned something else that was important. You said one of the main ways that you navigated the situation with your baby mama is you focused on the kid. Now, we say that a lot in our community. I've been
Right.
there. I know a lot of young people who've been there who will say, it's all about my baby. I just want my baby. I just, well, sometimes that's not the case. Sometimes you're being facetious. Sometimes you have an agenda like you mentioned. So it's important to me that you said that as a man, you can't focus on what she may not be doing right or whatever she decided to do in her personal life. Even though sometimes it may affect the child a little bit, you still have to remain focused on the child, right?
Right, right. Because I mean, I feel like when she sees that you never deviate from giving her that unconditional love, it's gonna make her, and this isn't right, it's gonna make her go in a direction where she feels the love from the person that's showing her the most love and kind of separate her from the one that's not showing her love. And for me, that's not what I mean to do, but that's not my problem. You know what I'm saying? My job as a father is just to continue to show her the type of love that I know she needs to feel good enough about herself so that, you know, it just makes things easy. You know what I'm saying? So she knows that regardless of anything, if I don't have both parents, one cares. And when it comes time for me to have to discipline her and give her that pep talk and show her that, you know what I'm saying, you're messing up, she knows that she's going to have to deal with me. She don't, and then the funny thing about the kid, she's not going to worry about the person that's not involved or the person that's not giving her that encouragement. She's going to have that thought about me. And that's
Mm,
what sometimes makes her think like, dang, like I know my dad ain't going for this, so I need to get my
mhm,
shit together. That's
mhm.
important to me.
Definitely, definitely. Now, something else I want to ask you real quick. Do you plan on having more kids?
Absolutely not. You know, for
I thought you was gonna say yeah. You said
no, 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 no. Absolutely not. What's funny is me and my daughter, we had this conversation, and this is another thing that I feel drew us real close. I'm 41 years old, and I told her, I said, I don't want to be 51 chasing out, a 10-year-old. I don't want to have to do that anymore. And I kind of felt like that was another spark that drew us closer for her to understand that my focus is you. You know, and that doesn't, and for fathers out there, that doesn't mean that, you know, you have to be there 24/7, but you need to be there when she or he needs you to be there. And that's
Mm-hmm.
it. That's
Mm-hmm.
important.
It is. And it's funny you say that because I think all adults should know their capacity as a person. Like my wife, the woman I've been with for like 18 years now, me and
Mhm.
her have one son together, and she made the conscious decision to have one kid. Now, people around her and people in society, they see you got one kid. They, oh, when's the next one? When's the next one? Everybody wasn't supposed to have a whole bunch of kids. I know
Right.
a lot of people who maybe should have stopped that one. Like you, because what you just said is very true. When you can provide a kid with love, right? But kids need attention. So if you got a small kid right here and you just have another kid, you need to realize at times you're cutting away the attention from this kid here that needs it. You said it in a different way, but it's the same thing. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
you need to take parenting seriously, basically, and
Absolutely.
say, how much time can I give this kid? What's my personality traits? Am I going to be able to do it? Well, if not, I'd rather not do that to a child or to my potential woman, or you know what I mean?
Right. 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 And I mean, I think for me with my daughter, you know, she's gonna be 20 this year. Even though, hey, and don't get it twisted, man. Like we have our issues. You know, we argue, we fight, you know, and sometimes my views of how I see things are a little bit different. But if it's anything else that she knows is that she's loved and that I have her back to the fullest, and you know, I'll do anything for her, man.
Definitely,
Anything.
definitely. Now, talk to me a little bit about your fitness company. Like, what's your plans for it? How long you've been doing it? Give me some information about that.
Okay, well, you know, I bought this little thing. If everybody can see, this is my flyer. You know, I don't know how good your camera can see that, but it's called Fit by Reek. You can catch me on Instagram. It's fit underscore by underscore RIC. And basically, what I learned being on the inside is that, you know, just think about, okay, let's be real, Harrison. Like you were on the basketball team, you were a starting point guard for Luther Burbank. And then I was like one of the ones underneath you, you know, watching you and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? And then I came up and I mean, we had a lot of success doing that to where it made us different than a lot of people because everybody didn't get the experience and the chances that we got.
Mm-hmm.
So what I learned through fitness is that to be able to watch a transformation of being able to help somebody to achieve their very best, which I believe Coach Maestas instilled into us,
Mm-hmm.
it's like something that makes me feel relevant in this world. It's something that makes me feel like, you know, I can be able to make at least some type of a difference, to be able to help to change another person's life. And as coaches, you know, it's not about the money. It's just about exploiting and denying, I mean, and identifying that fire that you have in you that you used to have, exploiting it and allow it to take over. And then after that, you're on your own because you're going to figure it out. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I decided to get in this fitness game because I've helped people lose anywhere between 130 pounds to 90 pounds, or to just understand that they do have this in them and to not quit. My motto is what I've always been saying. It's mind over matter. If you don't mind, it doesn't matter. And I'm very serious about that, bro. On God.
And that's it's I wanted you to bring that up, and I'm so behind that because our people is dying, bro, from
Right,
diabetes,
right.
from high blood pressure, all these diseases, which most people, it seems like most Americans are fat. Like most people you look
Yeah,
at
yeah,
have a waistband. You see what I'm saying? Most of
absolutely.
us become adults, stop running, stop walking around a lot. All we
Right,
doing is sitting at a desk, going home, sitting on the couch, eating food. That's a recipe to gain weight for anybody. You know what I mean? So the fact that you understand the importance of not just how it makes somebody feel, because it do make you feel better when you've been able to lose weight and you can see your body and your biceps and all that, but it
right.
also helps you live longer. You know what I mean?
Yes, it does. It does. It does. And I mean, it just think about this. If you're not that healthy, you become depressed, you know, and you can go into a depression that can lead into something that's going to kill you.
Mm.
But if you're feeling good, you're healthy, you're looking good, I mean, probably nine times out of the chance you're going to be doing good. just because of the fact that it puts you in that situation that propels you to just, you know what I'm saying, like do great. You know what I'm saying? Just think about all these people. Like, not everybody works out right and understands the dynamics, right? But the ones I noticed that be going to the gym Monday through Friday, Monday through Wednesday, and they're pushing the grind. You know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of them, like, they continuously want more in life. They're like, man, you know what? I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do that. But then the ones that are binge eating and, you know, feeling down on themselves and stuff like that, you know, they just haven't had that chance to rediscover themselves in the things that matter enough to be able to make them like want more, and they fall, man. And I hate to see that. And that's another reason why I wanted to get into this game, is because I just love to see people at their very best, man. Ain't no hate over here, bruh. Never.
I feel you. I feel you. And that makes a lot of sense. If someone truly cares about how they look and if they truly take care of their body, typically they're taking care of their business. They're taking care of their families and their responsibilities. Like, if you care a lot about your temple, typically you're going to be sharp with other things that you have to care about. So that makes sense.
Right. Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Now, also, you was telling me that eventually you're going to end up starting your own show or something, right?
Yeah, yeah. I have a brother of mine, which I'm pretty sure that some of your followers know. His name is Taryn Thompson. He does music. You know, actually, he moved to Atlanta, and you know, shout out to homies right now. You feel what I'm saying? This one of his singles that's going bananas right now. Shout out to same energy as well, which is another thing that's doing real good. We wanted to do something kind of like what you're doing right here. You know what I'm saying? Which we appreciate. It's going to be called The Bridge with the Brothers. And what that is being able to bridge that gap with helping people to understand that where we fall short a lot of times is we don't respect our elders, man. And we want to be able to help people to understand that you can be young and you could be fly as hell, but at the same time, you got to remember where that came from. We didn't start that. You know what I mean? So in order to bring that together, you know what I'm saying? We need to be able to close that bridge, you know what I'm saying? And realize that you need to respect your elders, and you need to do, you know, things that's going to bring good energy, which I hear all the time. You know what I'm saying? So that you can do good in life. You know what I mean? Because you don't want that karma of being disrespectful, and then it comes back to you and you're asking yourself, well, why is this happening? Why is this happening to me? Man, we don't want to hear that, man. Come on, like respect your elders, man. Respect the people that if it wasn't for them, you wouldn't even be here. That's very important too, and I'm always gonna push that, bro.
That's a great concept, bro. Because have you ever noticed? I've noticed now I'll walk in a store and I'll see like 14, 15-year-old dudes, maybe a little bit
Right.
younger than that, and they cussing up a storm, right? It's an old lady right here. Shit, I'm sitting right here. I'm 20 years older than y'all. It's another
Right.
50-year-old man right here. You know what I
Right.
mean? I think we've gotten away from that a lot just in our community. A part of that is like what you were saying earlier, where the kids having kids. So now you have kids where shit, the grandma is 39. You know what I mean? The mama had the kid so early that the
Right.
grandma was 39. So I think the balance of our age brackets have been thrown off a little bit by our immaturity, kind of. You know what I
Right.
mean? And our
Right.
rush to procreate, opposed to rushing to settle down and rushing to be financially stable and other stuff like that.
Uh-huh. Hey, you want to, you know, I got to tell you something that's funny is I feel like, you know, obviously I don't have everything figured out, but it seems like the things that I do have figured out, I'm just starting to figure it out in this age right here. So just imagine having a kid at 17, 16, 15. You know what I'm saying? It's like you don't have so many things figured out that by the time you do have things figured out, it might be too late. Or,
Yeah.
like it might put a person, you know what I'm saying, at odds if you don't have that level of maturity. So, hey, and I have nothing against people having kids at young ages, but just know that, be ready for the responsibilities that come with that.
Definitely. And it's funny you say that, bro, because I had my first kids at 17, about to be 18. I had two boys at the same time, and
I
I'm
remember.
struggling. You know what I mean? I was struggling and tried to figure it out. And we've had good parts of our relationship have been good. We've had
Right.
difficult things we've had to get over. But now I'm such a different man now. You see what I'm saying? So I look at like my youngest son, I look at him having the ability to live with me and be around me at my older age. And I'm like, damn, like what I know now, of course, like they always say, if I would have had a tenth of that information then, the whole trajectory of my life would have been different. That's why I personally think young people should wait to have children, like till you're mentally stable and you're financially stable. It's nothing as much as you can be. You know what I mean? You're stable with a partner. You've picked someone. You guys know each other. And you've been around each other, and you've been through ups and downs with each other. Like before the baby comes, I think it's extremely important that we focus on relationships, like the relating. You and the other person is going to be that part is extremely important in how this child is going to turn out and what kind of and what kind of energy y'all going to put out into the air. You know what I mean? I think both men and female should be really considering, okay, do I want to have a baby with this person? Do I want this to be the mother of my child? Do I want this to be the father of my child? You know what I mean? Do they exhibit qualities that a mother or a father should have? You know what I mean?
No, I do. I know what you mean, and I understand like 110%. And sorry for the movement right now, you know, but I had to get my charger because for some reason this phone is draining its battery at a fast rate right now. But I'm right back here. I'm right back here, and I'm trying to make sure that we can get the time that we have left.
Yeah, no, it's all good. It's all good. Yeah, go ahead, charge your thing
in. Do you mind if I get my extension cord too? It'll take like maybe 2 seconds, sir.
No, go ahead. Go ahead. Yeah, so while my brother Ricco is getting everything right with his phone, and we're gonna get back into that conversation me and him was having. But also, what I'm gonna bring up real quick, something I want to talk about, something that I was gonna talk about with Ricco, and I'm gonna ask his opinion on it. Here, let me share my screen real quick. I just want y'all to see the article that I'm reading. So please like this video, share this video. If you watching it on YouTube, please be subscribed to the Melanated Fathers TV YouTube page. On that YouTube page, we do a few things. We have a History Matters section where we talk about history videos and the people, places, and things from our past. We have In the News where I talk about different news stories, but it may be, music behind the video, just my voice type of thing. And then we have this show, which is the Melanated Convo podcast. Great interviews of people from around the country. Most of the time when I talk to men, I'm going to bring up fatherhood and just get their opinion on our family structure in this country, because that's extremely important to me. You know what I mean? That we figure out a way to bring our families back together while understanding racism and understanding systematic oppression and everything we have to deal with. It's still important that we as men relate to each other and create an understanding with each other. You feel me? So I'm going to bring up this story real quick because we have, of course, we deal with racism. And we deal with these systems that have created a lot of the dysfunction that we see in our community. Like, I truly do believe that, right? But at the end of the day, sometimes we got to look at each other and we got to know that we need to reevaluate how we discipline each other, like how we respond to disrespect, right? Now, I bring this up because LA rapper, hold on, did I put it on the screen? Let me put it on the screen. Hold on one second. I bring this up because, hold on one second. Let me bring this up real quick, Ricco. I was bringing up the story about Gonzo. So LA rapper Gonzo was killed the other day. Brother was 45 years old. Give me one moment here. I'm going to share this article that I was reading.
Okay.
Yeah, hold on one second here. Hold on one second. Okay, there we go. Hold on, I'm gonna bring it back up. So yeah, the brother was 45 years old. Gonzo became popular in like the 90s. He was a part of a group called Caution that Ice Cube signed, like in the 90s. You know what I mean? He later, because I'm not gonna say I was the biggest fan of the brother, but I definitely was aware of his work. He later on being allies with Yuck Mouth, and he was a part of his team and doing different things like that. Now, here's the thing, man. So this brother is 45 years old. He's leaving a family. You know what I mean? He was shot down, so it was gun violence involved. Here's my thing, man. First things first, when shit happened in the street politics is street politics. So we don't know what this brother was into. I'm RIP to him, and like I said, I feel for his family, but you don't know the details behind street politics, and I never try to act like I do
Right.
when it comes to certain shit. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, like I
Right.
was saying, Rico, we need to reassess how we respond to disrespect. Like we need to reassess what is worth killing somebody over. Like the amount of gun violence that I've seen just in general with the rappers in our community, with members of my family, with people in my neighborhood. Like it's really time we start reassessing how we respond to each other or to each other when disrespect takes place, because I'm more of, I feel like I'm, as far as gang shit and all that's concerned, I'm not gonna knock you, but at the end of the day, the biggest gang is the United States government, and we ain't got nothing on that. So you could be a Bloods, you could be a Crip. If you look at the trajectory of these gangs, as far as where they came from to where they are now, it ain't really based on revolution at this point. It ain't really based on building up the community. You know what I mean? A lot of these institutions are tearing down the community, and I know people who are involved in all this shit. But at the end of the day, we got to start realizing like some type of unity is going to be necessary for us to get out of this situation. If we are people who don't like racism, who don't like how the system treats us, if we don't like any of this shit, we have to start looking at other black people like we won. You know what I mean? And figuring out other ways to kind of resolve our disputes. How you feel about that, Ricco?
Well, I don't want to be looked at as a bigot, and I don't want to be looked at as a cynic, but at the same time, it's two things that I feel that people need to learn about and look really deep into. One is pride, and the other one is ego. Sometimes when you have those two type of things, and then the way that you're taught from an early age, those are the very things that can destroy you. And I can honestly tell you this, speaking from experience, there's some of the things that destroyed me from getting into trouble in the first place. And I can honestly be honest with you. Even in the relationships that I deal with today, sometimes they destroy me, because it's like when you feel like you're bigger than your pride and you feel like you're bigger than your ego, one thing you have to remember: when you leave this earth, you don't leave with your pride and your ego. But I tell you what you do leave with. You leave with how a person remembers you by. And if a person remembers you as being a prideful person, or if a person remembers you as having a big ego, that's your legacy right there. That's what people are going to remember you by. And you know what? That ain't shit, bruh. Excuse my language, but the reason why I'm so passionate and adamant about that is because it means nothing, man. Like, really, what life is about helping people, about loving your family. You know what I'm saying? About understanding that you don't have to be a part of, the masses and everything that's going on. It's okay to be an individual. It's okay to love people. It's okay to put yourself out there. And it's also okay to be hurt. You know what I'm saying? Because you know what? That's a part of life, man. But I tell you what, killing people and being responsible for that when karma does come back for you, because it's going to every single time, either in this life or the next. That's something that you have to deal with for the rest of your life, bro.
I feel you, man. And it's a touchy thing to me because I'm sensitive to the mentality of our young men. Like everything we've been talking about today about not having fathers, about growing up in these tumultuous environments where survival is the only thing that you can kind of grasp. You know what I mean? So I think us being parents and us creating two-parent homes and us doing all these things, I think that's a part of the part we play in curbing some of this shit, because I don't know too many dudes who grew up with two functioning parents in the home who at 20 something, 30 years old, riding around shooting at people. Now, of course, all of us are going to protect our home. Get your Second Amendment of rights game up. Protect your home at all costs. That's not what we're talking about.
Absolutely.
We just have to, like you said, sometimes your pride, sometimes somebody hurting your ego, and being men as kids, Ricco, in my opinion, we're told not to cry. We're told to get up, wipe yourself off. This is teaching us to internalize everything we go through. So sometimes you can internalize a whole bunch of shit and you just snap. You see what I'm saying? Because you had a bad day. You got some stuff going on at home. You got some stuff going on with your woman. You ain't got no money right now. Like, you got all these things that women do a better job of just talking about all this shit, right? No matter who it is, they're going to talk to somebody about it. We don't talk. We've been told not to talk. And so now you're dealing with a situation where And some of these young dudes just having a gun. If anybody is a gun owner out there, sometimes that's the worst thing you can have when you're mad. That's the worst thing you can have when you upset at somebody. You know what I mean? Because of the
yes, sir.
because
Guns takes lives, man.
Period. So I'm thinking what we also need to get back to, sometime if a man offends you, like if a man offends you and comes your way with a certain level of disrespect, sometimes we just gonna have to fight. Meet him somewhere and chunk it. Meet him somewhere and fight. Meet him somewhere and get it up real quick. Lose, win, or draw, that part really ain't important. You got it off your chest. Whatever was going on, you don't feel that way no more, but he gonna get up off the ground and go home too. You know what I mean?
Well, hey, I mean, Friday said it best, you know, for all the people out there that watch that little segment of Friday, they look at it as a comedy, but there was some real game in there. And it's like he said, like, people are punks nowadays, you know what I mean? But if you just get them up, handle your business, at least you're still living to see another day, like he said, you know what I mean? And you can move on with your life, and at least you'll still have your life, you feel me? But this gun violence and people picking up guns, it has to stop, man. That's just the coward way out. You feel what I'm saying? And it's also something that you have to live with for the rest of your life. You feel me? And who wants to live like that?
Yep, you have to live with it for the rest of your life. And that gun, I was telling somebody the other day, you know, some people don't even consider the shooter. When we look at the dynamic of who's hurt by gun violence, the guy who's gone, of course, his life has been taken most of the time abruptly. His family, his kids, his mama, his brother, his cousin, the cousin who ain't been talking to in a while, the family that's used to seeing him. But we also got to think about the shooter. I'm taking somebody's life, using your firearm to actually hurt somebody, and you know they not there no more. Do we think they just moving on with their life and it's not mentally doing something to them? You know what I mean? So this one interaction is affecting several people's lives forever now.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
It's like a domino effect, you know what I mean? Because of the fact that to have to live with that, and maybe you can't tell people because of you're in fear, you know what I'm saying? And if you really think about it, all it does is it's like a bag, you know what I'm saying? And you're filling up this bag and it becomes so heavy, and you're the only person that can carry this burden that it consumes you. And then you're subject to anything else. You're subject to probably alcoholism. You're subject to drugism. You're subject to whatever it is that you need to drown yourself in to be able to forget about what it is that you did. And at the end of the day, who wants to live life like that, bro? Like, don't nobody want to live like that, man. You know what I'm saying? And therefore you become another statistic, and you're either caught up in the system or you're caught up in the world, which both places, you know what I'm saying? It's not good, man. It's not good.
Definitely. So I definitely appreciate you coming on, bro. Like you were saying, once you get your show popping, I'm definitely gonna be happy to come on and we can talk about what you want to talk about. I just want to make sure, and we will do this again. You know what I mean? I just knew that you would have a good perspective on a lot of the things that are going on out here and just your experiences, and you would be transparent with everything you got going on. So I definitely appreciate you coming on. Tell everybody your Instagram one more time.
Okay, so for everybody that's listening, my Instagram, if you want to check me out, is FIT_by_RIC. So it's Fit by Rick. It's a fitness page, but I mean, I'm also focusing in fashion, but I also, you know, I drop a little jewels here and there too. You know, like when I see certain things that I like and there's certain knowledges that I have, I would like to share that, just because, man, I just want to see people at their very, very best. And for you, Harry, I'm letting everybody and all the viewers know out there, because of you giving me this opportunity, you will be the first person that's going to be on our show. And I've already let my brother know about it, and I'm actually looking forward to having you on there.
I appreciate you, brother. And like I said, we're going to do this more and more. These type of conversations are just necessary in our community. I like having fun. I like chilling and relaxing. I do a whole bunch of that too. You know what I mean? But it's important that we know when as men, we need to be able to speak to our community. We need to be able to speak to our flaws and understand, like as fathers, like how important our job is, not just to our children, but to the children in our community, to the people in our community. You know what I mean? And positive vibes reverberates. So I'm always on something positive, because that's where all of us need to be. You know what I mean? So I appreciate you coming on the show. This has been another episode of the Melanated Convo podcast. Like I said, subscribe to the Melanated Fathers TV YouTube channel if you ain't done so yet. If you listen to this on one of the digital platforms, please leave a review, comment, support. Every week, every Saturday, I'm gonna keep bringing you a new show, new guests. Even when it ain't a guest, I just come on here and chop it up by myself. But it's important that we create a balance in our brain, y'all. I know if you a man, I know you like twerk videos. You probably watch it, but you got to read a book too. You feel me? You got to read the autobiography of Malcolm X. You got to tune into something like this. You got to watch some 85 South show. You got to diversify your thoughts, family. Don't just feed if your brain is like food too. Like, you can't just consume one type of thing and think your brain not gonna be healthy. So you gotta fill up your brain and your thoughts, and your knowledge is important. So get an understanding of what's going on out here and gain a perspective. That's all we doing. It's never advice. It's never telling you what to do. It's always a perspective and a different way to look at things. So like I said, man, this is your boy Harrison. Melanated Father TV is the YouTube channel. The podcast is the Melanated Convo podcast. Great episode. Thank everybody for tuning in. I'm out.